What also is interesting to me is that people who espouse this philosophy and people who are pushing it along, I personally believe they have a responsibility to anyone else in their freaking fold. And if there are problems, they should try to help that individual. I am an ardent believer that we are all connected. Okay? I know it's something that not many atheists think about, and I'm pretty sure some of them actually don't believe, but it's something that I personally believe. Okay? Everyone is connected. Everything that we do at any second of every day has an impact on someone else, and that will in turn affect someone else and someone else and so on. Every word, every deed, every gesture has an effect, whether you realize it or not. That smile that you give somebody as you're walking down the street, just that courteous hello, can have a hell of an effect that you may never know about. You opening the door for a guy having a bad day, you don't even realize they had a bad day. You just open the door and smile and say, "How you doing?" That can have one hell of an effect. It may lighten the dude's mood a little bit. It may in turn make him not that angry enough so that when he gets home he doesn't punch out his wife. And maybe that in turn makes the wife a little bit easier in her mind, and she's able to take care of her kid better, which would help that kid's development, and so on and so forth. This, of course, is all hypothetical, but I hope you see what I'm talking about. We all affect each other, even in the tiniest of ways. This is one of the reasons why I also believe that we are responsible for one another. Not necessarily saying that we should, constantly mother one another, but I'm just simply stating that we should be careful the things we do and say, especially in public. And this is where Venom Fang X comes in. It's no secret now that Tony48219 looked up to this man. Even though I think he was younger than Venom Fang, but Tony was older than Venom Fang. But he looked up to Venom Fang as a champion of sorts, as this ultimate guy taking on atheists. And now that Tony has committed this deed, Venom Fang X is trying to do whatever the hell he can to distance himself from this motherfucker as much as possible. A typical politician creep sort of action. He's not saying, this is something, this affects me deeply, that, somebody who looked at my stuff would go and do this. I mean, it's like, I feel sorry for that. Nah, he's trying to distance himself as possible, and he's trying to say, I don't know if this guy's a real Christian. He might be in hell. I mean, all this shit. Instead of simply saying, wow, this is some heavy stuff. It would probably have been better off for him to maybe not even say anything at all, or offer some condolences or something. It shows a lot about his character, that latest video that he put out. A hell of a lot. But it's not surprising. Confederal Socialists just recently put out a video on Venom Fang X. And I think it pretty much sums up why he does the shit that he does. It's a good video. In fact, I'm going to link to it. It doesn't really have much to do with Tony, but it has a lot to do with why Venom Fang X does what he does. It's a good video to watch. But to get back into this, I believe that philosophies and things, let's just get to the whole matter of, here was a guy who was mentally disturbed, who is linking himself with a religion that pretty much spouts that, you're of a chosen group of people and everybody else is scum. But the funny thing is, he still has attachments to people. I would not be surprised whatsoever if he had a secret attraction to the woman he killed, but just didn't have the emotional fortitude to do anything about it. And maybe her either rejecting him or maybe going with somebody else was maybe the last straw. I don't know. This is all hypothetical, but I would not be surprised. I've seen that in characters like him. It's really fucking tragic that this is all coming out this way. It really is. And I really think that it should get people to start paying attention to the shit that they say or the people that they may be affecting. I know when I put out videos, I think long and hard about whether I should put the video out or not. Believe it or not, I got like 2 CDs full of videos that I recorded that I never put up because I was worried about how it would be affected or how it would affect somebody else. Even my latest one, the one where I'm saying have a plan, I was very specific to not say anything that I felt might incite people to do something stupid, like try to start shooting at government officials or whatever. When I'm saying, and by the way, let me just clear this up right now. When I was saying have a plan, I meant shit like networking, getting connection with your neighbors, becoming more self-sufficient, stocking up on supplies and resources, and pooling together with a group of people, with a group that you trust to help pool your resources so you can survive this mess. Stuff like that. Plan for yourself. That's what I meant by a plan. So let me just get that out the way. But I try to be careful about shit that I can say, because even unintentionally, things that you can say can have real dire consequences. And when shit like that happens, that should be the moment for you to step back and go, whoa, you know, that's heavy. And I'm not saying that you are responsible for what they did, but you should at least be careful about what influence you may have. I'm not saying that Venom and Fang X is the guy who made him pull the trigger. That's preposterous. But as somebody who the man looked up to and was making videos of, and I'm pretty sure Venom Fang probably knew about this motherfucker. He should have paid attention to whether he was unstable or not and tried to help. I know there were people in my past who I noticed who, even though they liked me, I knew they were unstable, and I told them, get some fucking help. Because the signs were there. I know that people said he was very abrasive, and, you know, the things that he said just made him so contrary that they just could not, they were like, you know what, fuck you, you're just another crazy fundy. But the signs were there. And I noticed there are a lot of videos basically saying, we didn't know this could happen, we didn't know, how could we know it's not. That ain't true. There was at least one motherfucker who knew that there was something wrong and actually said so. That man would be Kreuzensberg. Check out the latest video that he put out concerning this topic. He put out an old clip that he said, that he made regarding Tony. And the very last thing he said was basically, you're unstable, get some help, motherfucker. Now, he did it in slight jest, but at the same time, he was serious. His last line, he said, I noticed you're unbalanced, you should get help. Someone did notice. The signs were clear. And the few little clips I did see of this guy, I could tell right away there was something wrong. I'm not going to say that it's very easy to tell there's something wrong. It isn't. There are many times there's something wrong with someone you may never know because they're trying their best to hide it. But I'll tell you this much. No matter how contrary somebody's message may be, and no matter how much of an asshole they may be acting, if you put aside the hostility that you're beginning to get just from being around them for a second and really look at the person, sometimes you can tell what's really there. And as far as Tony48219 is concerned, what was really there was this depressed, self-loathing, self-doubting individual who really could have used a little bit more of a friendly ear. I bet there was a lot on his mind that no one ever knew about, even to this day, because he couldn't find the right person to share it with. And the one person he probably thought he could is now dead with him. I'm not exactly sure about that last part, but I'd bet money on it.